definitely the reason why I would never live in Miami or in Florida in general. Hello people of YouTube and welcome to another video from my room here in Lima, Peru. So you guys might be probably wondering what the hell is she doing there if on her previous video she was still in Miami. Long story short, I am back. Actually, a few days after my previous video was filmed, yes, when I was still in the Everglades, the whole city went into lockdown, so unfortunately I had to cancel my whole travel itinerary. I know that was so sad to do. Blame you, Rona. And I couldn't film anything, not even inside the house because I was staying at my relatives, so for privacy purposes I decided to stop filming. I did film the day I left Miami to come back here. If you're interested in watching that video, I'll put the link up there so you can click and go directly to that video. Unfortunately, that video is only in Spanish because I wanted my fellow Peruvians to watch it. And I haven't put any subtitles either because I wanted that video to be out right away, and well, putting subtitles takes a lot of time. In that video I explained my whole repatriation process because no, I didn't take a commercial flight. What I took was a special flight, a charter one, because even today the Peruvian borders are still closed, and that's something that has never happened before. I was quite nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen, and that's exactly why I decided to film that video, because there are still other Peruvians stuck in some other random countries and obviously they want to come here. So if I can tell my experience, share information, and just show a little bit of support, well, virtual support, why not do that, you know? So since I couldn't film not even half of the things I wanted to film in Miami, let's just continue our Miami series here from the comfort of my very own room. Today I will talk to you guys about my 10 first impressions of Miami. I actually wanted to film this video a long time ago. Blame you, Rona. But I think it's good to do it now though, because that way I feel I can finally give you a more accurate perspective about that city. But before we start, if you haven't watched my previous video, I invite you to do so. I've put the link up there so you can click and go directly to that video. I appreciate that a lot. And now with that being said, let's just get to the video. The very first impression was right when I was on the plane getting ready to land. I saw the distinctive postcard view of Miami. You know, the super tall skyscrapers, just a tiny little piece of concrete jungle next to the Atlantic Ocean under the light blue sky. I think I've said this like a million times, but I've never seen such green sea before. And the reason why I was so impressed is because in Peru we don't have skyscrapers, and to be honest, the Pacific Ocean is quite dark, and also the sky in Lima is gray pretty much all year round, so it was definitely super nice to see Miami from above. Another thing that impressed me a lot is the amount of green spaces. I thought Miami was all about the tall skyscrapers and beach, but no, it definitely has gardens, parks, and even forests. The truth is that the skyscrapers are only located in Brickell, which is the financial area of Miami, but the rest of the city definitely consists of houses with the palm trees and big yards everywhere. Because of the green areas and also the weather, there are lots of exotic animals pretty much everywhere. I used to see like around 20 lizards every day, which is crazy, but they are pretty much everywhere, literally. In your yard, your balcony. I even saw one outside Walmart. I even saw a snake twice outside the place where I was staying. I did my research and apparently what I saw was a black racer, which is a non-venomous but super common snake in South Florida. So yeah, exotic animals, pretty impressive, but definitely the reason why I would never live in Miami or in Florida in general. Miami is a multicultural city, but it is well known for the large amount of Latinos living there. For that reason, almost all people are bilingual. They're fluent in both English and Spanish, which is super impressive, but also funny because it has happened to me that I've been in a store and spoken to an employee in English and they've replied in Spanish just because of how I look. So I guess I have the Latina vibes all over my body. The weather is so unpredictable, but not in a sense that you don't know what's going to happen, because you can definitely check on the weather forecast if it's going to rain or not. But because the sky can be super clear and then all of a sudden everything gets dark just because the sky is covered by big black clouds, the heavy rain starts, and literally 15 minutes later we can see the clear light blue sky again. And for those who think it's hot in Miami all year round, believe me, Miami has chilly days too. The first couple of days right after I arrived in March were chilly and also windy. You can definitely check that out on my very first video of this series. Miami is a very big city. That's why people are constantly traveling long distances to get from one place to another. And for that reason, having a car is pretty much a necessity. People drive their cars to go everywhere all the time. You want to go for a pizza, you grab your car. You want to go to church, you grab your car. You want to go to the gym, you grab your car. I have to admit, it's quite funny to me because I don't need a car to go to all those places where I live here in Lima. I remember I used to go to this park nearby while in Miami, and there were people who literally drove their cars to that park just to jog. So once they were done and all sweaty, they would just hop on their cars and leave. Other than that, because most people have cars, it's quite rare to see people walking on the streets, except for, you know, downtown Miami, Brickell, and Miami Beach. And just a tiny little observation I would like to add here is the shape of the street. Well, not the shape, but I think that because of the large amount of cars, the streets tend to be wide. That's why I was always scared to cross them. You might be probably wondering, what about public transportation then? Let me tell you, it is not that good. And please don't get me wrong, I love the Metro Rail and also the Metro Mover, but unfortunately both only cover a tiny little small area of Miami. The Metro Rail only has 2 lines, and the Metro Mover only goes around downtown Miami and a little bit of Brickell and a little bit up north. What about the rest of the city then? Well, there are buses and also trolleys. Unfortunately, I cannot say anything about the trolleys because I only hop on one once, but the bus system, it's just not like Peru. In Peru, you just walk to a corner, you raise your hand, hop on a bus, and that's that. In Miami, there are schedules for everything, which obviously makes it more organized, but you have to wait. I remember I once waited like 40 minutes for the bus to come, and I don't really know if that was a schedule. Blame you, Rona. But I was fine with it because I wasn't in a rush because I was a tourist. But if I had to live in Miami, that would definitely be a waste of time. Last year, a report listed Miami as the 7th least affordable city in the world. In other words, Miami is one of the most expensive cities in the US. My mistake was to think that Miami was all about luxury and that all people had happy lives. In fact, I had a chance to see many homeless people at Bayfront Park and outside metro stations. Miami also has a few dangerous neighborhoods which are far from the usual tourist landmarks, but still, I think that's something to keep in mind if you like organizing solo trips and if you like exploring the city on your own, just like me. When you think about Miami, you imagine the hot weather, people enjoying the beach, and tan lines everywhere. I do too. Miami definitely has all those things all year round, but something that really caught my attention is that the summer, in fact, is the worst season. Summer in Miami means heavy rain, storms, and hurricane season, which runs from June to November. To be honest, I only stayed in Miami until the beginning of hurricane season, and it was crazy. It rained almost every day. I cannot really imagine what an actual hurricane is like, but I've been told that people buy their supplies in advance and that the electricity sometimes goes out for a few days. Isn't that crazy? And finally, something positive I've experienced is that in Miami, strangers walking in the street can just approach you and talk to you in a super friendly way. That happened to me when I was waiting for the bus. A guy told me he liked my outfit and even asked for my number. He was totally hitting on me. I'm just kidding. That also happened to me when I was sitting on the bench at Bayfront Park. A lady was just passing by and told me how dangerous those electric scooters are. I think that happens not only in Miami but in the United States in general, because I had the opportunity to live in Connecticut a few years ago and the same thing happened. Random people just walking into the streets approach me and talk to me. That's super surprising to me because that never happens here in Lima. Okay guys, so these have been my 10 first impressions of Miami. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you were also impressed by them. I would love to read your comments, and I also hope you've learned something new about that city today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Unfortunately, at this time you cannot follow me on Instagram because I temporarily deactivated it, but you can definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to keep hearing from me. This is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys liked it, and please look forward to the next one. Bye bye!